Lloyd is behind what this whole new generation of apps are and platforms are. And I wanted Lloyd to join us, and he's going to give us a vision of where this is going. So let's give it for Lloyd right now. Come on up, Lloyd. All right. So, Lloyd, what I would like you to do is kind of give us an overview of what is going on with this whole platform concept. Sure. You got it. I'm going to give you the remote. There's your forward button. Lloyd, the mic is yours. Go for it.
Great. Good evening, everybody. Actually, I want to speak directly to the hackathon participants about what you accomplished tonight. Because about a year ago, and I believe it was a year ago, Dirk presented a challenge to me. And he said, Lloyd, I want to make the Hyperloop free for passengers. I thought to myself, is this guy absolutely nuts?
Crazy.
Free for passengers. He wants to make the Hyperloop, transportation on the Hyperloop free. And I thought to myself, that might not be such a crazy idea. And one thing we have to do in order to realize that is to look at the journey, right? One of the key things we had to measure was travel behavior. Now, I have a travel background. I actually came out of the travel industry. Years ago, I did a proof of concept project for Microsoft. It was called the Microsoft Expedia project back in 1996. And Microsoft wanted to prove that their SQL database product can scale to the transaction needs of the travel industry. Now, it was a complete flop. SQL didn't work. They wound up using something called Oracle. You guys are all familiar with Oracle. But eventually, we got it to where it needed to be. So we had to look at travel, and we had to look at behavior in passengers. And we looked at this, and we looked at what a typical Hyperloop trip might look like, right? So we looked at this trip, and we thought about the travel behavior involved. And we thought to ourselves, you know, travel's no longer about an itinerary. It's not vertical anymore, okay? Travel's about the experience. It's now horizontal. And what I mean by that is, typically, you travel for business, it might be vertical. You have a certain number of things you want to do. You're going to hit a plane, you're going to rent your car, you're going to stay in your hotel, you're going to have dinner, you're going to go home. But now, travel's a bit horizontal. Okay, there are several things we learn about you. There are things that you might do that is a little unorthodox, like bring your family with you. So it becomes an event. So in this event, you might be going to a meeting, but your family might be going to see the Statue of Liberty in New York City. And at some point, you guys might meet up. So you create this entire experience. So one of the things we had to do when we looked at building this application for Hyperloop are things that supported that experience and potentially make it free. So we looked at this again and said, you know what? It might be free. We might be able to subsidize travel in some form or fashion. And we embarked on building this application, and we got to the point where we said, you know, there's a marketplace here. There's a platform to allow other organizations to participate in our ecosystem. Something like Uber, for example. Take care of that first mile to get you to Hyperloop. And let's take Hyperloop out of the equation for a second. We could just simply make travel better by allowing other organizations to participate in this ecosystem. And see, we were able to build out, as you can see from the demo, from the examples, we were able to build out a prototype that supported this. And so our goal was to really enhance the travel experience. And so let me give you an idea of what that means. Say you're traveling from, I'm trying to use this part of the world as an example, Budapest to Vienna, for example. And maybe you did that to commute. Maybe that's your new job because you're taking the Hyperloop. And so if you're using our application, there are a lot of things we start to learn about you. So if you're a commuter, we learn your commuting habits. If you're an avid traveler, we start learning about your travel behavior. And there are certain things by gathering all this data that we start to learn about you. Now, you opted into this app, right? So we know we have your calendar. We know who your contacts are. And we can start making recommendations to you. Now, all the people here that participated in the hackathon, you probably had to go through this process yourself, right? If someone is traveling from Los Angeles to San Francisco, and I know their contact information, I could perhaps recommend several of your friends who live in San Francisco to meet you for drinks. And I can start looking at your travel behavior. If you're a commuter, for example, and you commute from one city to the other, and I know because my database is full of people who are using the same travel mediums, if I know a train or a bus is going to be full, I can start making recommendations to you and make your travel experience that much better. Offer you up a coffee, for example. Go to a local coffee shop, we'll give you a coupon, and you can wait for the next bus. And I just freed up your morning. You don't have to stress anymore. And these are the things that we're trying to do through the use of this application. And so overall, just to summarize, we really want this digital experience, this digital travel experience, to be the de facto experience in the travel industry. And we want any organization to be able to participate, from companies who want you to do your laundry to offer you up entertainment. And our platform is going to be a platform to do that. And one of the things I didn't see from all of our challengers today was an onboard entertainment system. And I thought for sure that was going to be where everyone pointed. But as you can see in the back there, we will have an onboard entertainment system. But I want to thank all the challengers for coming out today and for doing such an excellent job. So thank you very much. Everyone, give them a round of applause, would you?
Lloyd Marino, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken.
So, Lloyd, where you saw this today, you saw some outside the box thinking?
I did, and actually one of our challengers took care of this last mile issue, and I was very impressed, and they thought through that.
So when someone comes in a hackathon, do they have like very specific things they need to be able to achieve? Like, what did you judge things based upon?
Well, there was an outline that Catalyst put forth.
Okay.
All right, they have some criteria, and we were hoping to see some of that criteria. And there were a handful of people that kind of checked all the boxes, and a handful that were just kind of outside the box, which was great too, right? That outside the box thinking was good. So.
Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to find out who our next winner is. Lloyd, thank you very much for joining us. Lloyd Marino, all right. Lloyd's developing some great. I want to bring Bebop and Bird back up here. Can I get both of you guys up here? Bebop.